Good evening, everyone. This is Pris Wood with No Ordinary Huddle. I have some of my favorite guests back tonight. We're going to be discussing the NFC North. We're waiting for one person to join us, but we're going to go ahead and get started because we like to keep it 7 o'clock. Understand, guys, sometimes, we're a little bit, a couple minutes late, but we're definitely going on if we have a schedule. So just, be patient. I'm going to go and let everyone introduce themselves, and they're going to tell us their name and also their team. We'll go Brandie, John, and then Amanda.
Hello and greetings, everybody. Skull Vikings. My name is Brandie, also known as Lady Be Nice, and Skull Vikings, Minnesota, all the way.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Moore, and I am, of course, Chicago Bear fan. Go Bears, bear down.
Hey guys, I'm Amanda. I'm also known as Lions Calavera, also known as Lone Star Lion. Obviously, I'm a Lions fan. One pride worldwide.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Again, this is Pris Wood. These are members of my Facebook group, National Football Lovers. Great group. Send us an invite or have someone invite you to join us. We do a lot of fun things there. We're definitely, trash talk each other's teams, but it's all in fun. It's definitely all in fun. So we're going to jump into the questions tonight. My first question is, we have, luckily you guys, can you believe this is the last day of the month that we don't have football, which is I'm like, yes.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
I am so excited. I've been working overtime just so I can have football season. It's great.
Let me ask you guys something. Do you guys go to the preseason games? We'll go Amanda, Brandie, and then John.
I don't get a chance to very often since I actually live in Texas, so it's not something I get to really be a part of. I would love to at some point. I am keeping track of some of my friends that are at training camp this week, and especially today. Actually, I had a few friends get to meet some players today and get to get all the little goodie packs that they send out. So hopefully soon I get the opportunity to do that. But living in Texas, being a Lions fan makes it a little hard sometimes.
I can imagine. What about you, Brandie?
Well, typically, yes. When we were down in Mankato, I went to, training camp down there, and that was an awesome experience. Like, the town welcomed everyone. The team was awesome and on point. In the last training camp that I was at, I got to witness Stephon Diggs in training camp and pointed him out, like, look at him. And then, boom, that season he blew up. So that was pretty awesome. This season, I have not been able to make it because work demands, but, I'm all diehard bleed purple, and if I can be there for preseason, absolutely, I'm there. Football season has begun.
Nice. What about you, John?
Okay, the static is gone. I changed phones, and I'm up and ready to go. Okay. Yeah. Well, I moved to
Get it.
Alabama about 15 years ago, but prior to that, every year, me and my buddies would take our road trip from Chicago and drive like an hour down. We were diehard. But yeah, I've been here, so I'm in between these Auburn and Alabama fans, and every time they ask me which one, I said, "Nah, I'm a Bear fan. You guys can fight that one out." So, if from a proximity standpoint, no. If I was there, I would most definitely be taking that trip.
Okay, yeah. So for me, I'm a Vegas fan and I'm on the East Coast, so I really don't. I mean, I think if I go to preseason games, I think I would go to like a different team. I don't think I would necessarily go to like my team's preseason game. I think I would try to use that time to hang out with fans and different things like that. That's just me. The next question, do you guys, OTAs. Now we know we have like a lot of deals. I think, John, we spoke about this a little bit last time, but my question is OTAs, should deals be finalized going into the OTA? Because we have players trying to get ready for the season and coaches trying to get ready for the season. Do you feel like there should be a cutoff point to where it's like, okay, these are your players, deal done, or, whatever, so that way teams can solidify like rosters and all of that stuff. We'll go Brandie, Amanda, and John.
Well, I mean, I honestly believe they have a vision, right? When they go into this, they want to see what these kids can do. They're really looking at. So I think it behooves as much time as possible to make sure they're making the right decision. I know it is uncomfortable and a little, unsatisfactory to most people, but we want to make sure we're putting the right people in the right positions and paying them the right money to do what they got to do. So I think, it is a timely thing, but at the same time, you have to understand what is all entailed in that decision. So they have to make a very calculated and informed, decision.
So your answer is no?
I mean, I believe they need that time to figure it out. I honestly believe, I mean, I know it's frustrating to most people, but they need that time.
Okay, so what about you, Amanda? I think I said Amanda next, right? Amanda, what about you? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, so I actually agree with her and a lot of that. I'm kind of lean on both sides because I do like to know, who's on the team, who am I looking at in this season, what do we have going, what is the game plan going forward. As a fan, you want to know all the facts before you go into it for the season, right? But I also agree with her as well for the fact that, you do have to try these guys out to make sure that they mesh well with everyone else on the team, that everyone, has their part and their role and they have it down, that they're doing their homework outside of the training camp and outside of, practice, at home too, making sure they're really remembering what the playbook is, getting things down. You want to make sure you have guys on the team that that you can have total confidence in. So I do see where she's saying how it is frustrating for some people not knowing the whole game plan going in. But I do agree with her in the fact of, you do want to see, all of the possibilities that you can going forward before the season starts. You don't want to get into week 6 and you're still trying to figure out your scheme or what your plan is for the season. So I do agree with her on that part. And I would say that I want to know at least going up into preseason, who plays the best, who gets the best out there on the field. And as far as, preseason games too and OTAs and all of that, injuries are always a thing. So I know people get frustrated with that because there is a possibility that someone gets injured before the season starts. But in all honesty, if they're going to get injured in the preseason, they're going to get injured in the regular season. So I'd much rather have that happen in the preseason, and then you can have a game plan going forward in the regular season. And that's just my thoughts on it.
What about you, John?
Yeah, I agree with Amanda and Brandie on that, because everybody looks good on paper, but you really want to see what you're working with. I mean, like Amanda mentioned, you want to see how the person mesh. You want to see their work ethics, their ability to grasp the playbook, all of those things. And again, it's a process. So by the time week 1 starts, hopefully when the Bears play against Green Bay Packers, we'll have the best team. Start getting
Woo, Lord, today.
I'm about to ask Bree.
He went fishing on that one. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Baby, you had me with the agreeance and then you lost me. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm a mute.
My question though is not as a fan. My point is as a business owner. As a business owner, as a head coach, I cannot put together a plan if I don't know who I'm going to have with me. Because as a head coach, if you cannot coach these players, you shouldn't even be there to begin with. Now, I personally feel like that if they're not signed going into this, I'm actually hurting the players that are there because I'm not giving them the proper looks or looking at them and saying, okay, this person now I know this person needs more help here, because I'm worried about, who I'm going to have and who I'm not going to have. So that's just me on that. I think it should be done. And, look, it's, I'm like Jay-Z, on to the next one. Let's go. When it comes to OTAs, I'm going to ask Steve. We already know that he's ready to go because John's got his little bear stuff on there. And we're going to talk about the bet. We're going to bring that up. Let me ask Steve. Hi, Steve.
Good. Hey, guys.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
What's
So
going
Steve,
on? Hey, John,
Hey,
good to see you,
Steve.
brother.
Likewise,
hey
partner.
Steve,
Hey,
for those
Were you
listening,
going backwards, Steve?
go ahead and go ahead and introduce yourself, Steve, and tell us who your team is, if as if we don't know.
well, I'm Steve. I Green Bay Packer fan, live in Wisconsin, and I kind of, got to back the pack. And hey, John, good to see you, brother.
Likewise, likewise.
Hey, by the way,
Okay,
Prius, I got to say this, John. I'm going to keep that bet yet for
but
the
we're not
first game
talking
of the
about. Okay,
season.
we're gonna John, Steve. We're gonna follow
You're
the
jumping
path.
the
We're gonna
gun,
bring.
Steve. Calm down.
We're gonna come to that a little bit later. I've never had to mute the mic before, but I feel like if I ever had to do it at any time during the show, guess who it's gonna be for?
Hey, Amanda,
I'm
good to
just
see
saying.
you.
But
Hey,
Steve, let me ask you
Hi.
something.
Hi, Steve.
Steve. Hey, look, Amanda's a Lions fan. You already know what happened last season. But hey, Steve, do you go
Oops.
to any? Do
Oops.
you go to any preseason games?
I'm
Steve,
sorry,
you
what?
talk. Do you normally go to any preseason games?
Sorry, I have a hard time hearing you right now.
Do you normally go to any preseason games?
Preseason games. Um, I'd like to go. Um, I'm not sure if I can, but I would love to.
So let's talk about the players because we just talked about the OTAs, which Steve talked about the last time he was here. Question: is there any player that you feel like you had your team had the opportunity to get that you didn't get that you would like to have? We're gonna go Steve, John, Amanda, and then Brandie.
All right. So the question is, any player I would like to have?
No, was there an open player or player that was available that you wanted that you wish your team would have gotten
Oh,
besides
um,
besides a new quarterback? But go ahead.
quarterback wise.
No, any player.
Any player. I I've heard a lot of news, rumors or whatever that Green Bay should pick up Teddy Bridgewater. That's what I've been hearing. John, did you hear that?
Okay, John's gonna get to see. This is the thing. We have to give Amanda and Brandon everyone a chance
Oh,
to answer
okay.
the question
All right.
because if not, it's not fair to them to we got to let others voice their opinion, and then later you can ask. We'll open the you know everything up so you can ask John the questions you want to ask or whoever that's on the show. So, John, is there any player that you wanted that was available that you would like to have gotten? You're mute. Your mic is off.
I'm sorry. Not at this particular moment. I'm kind of letting my GM, who I feel very strongly, have a lot of faith in, let him kind of. I know we're looking for that defensive end right now, and there's a different, there's some names that floated through, but I know we picked up our right, in terms of our offensive linemen. And again, we've had so many holes from last season. I'm just kind of like I'm trusting the process, realizing that we're gonna have some nice picks, and we still have a nice cap space there. I'm leaving that in their hands. The
Okay,
G.
so you feel
That's what they get paid for.
confident.
Not nobody that just really glares out. I know I have some people calling for my quarterback, but I love my quarterback, so we don't need to move him. We just need to build around him. So
Exactly.
nobody as of yet.
Yeah, I love your
Lord knows
quarterback.
y'all need to build
What?
around him. Lord help
Yeah,
him.
I love your quarterback. What about you, Amanda?
So I mean, there was a lot of buzz about DeAndre Hopkins and his moves in the off season. I was fine with the people that we have. I love Amon St. Ra on our team. Amon Ra St. Brown on our team. So, I'm fine with the players that we have in place. I would have rather us not gotten rid of Jamal Williams rather than picking up someone that I really wanted. He was a really, really amazing running back. He meshed with our team so well. So to have him leave, I think that's what I'm more disappointed in than not picking anyone up currently. So I'm
Oh,
still a little bitter.
Okay. What about you, Brandie?
Well, first and foremost, as a Vikings fan, I was floored with the first round draft pick. But I understand, it's chess, not checkers, right? Like you
Yeah.
have to build around. If Thielen's gone, we have to have somebody else just as compatible to go with Jefferson. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't too upset with my draft picks, but Miss Amanda, I don't know what you was seeing, but I seen what your squad was doing with them draft picks, and that was a little dangerous. Like, I'm gonna be real. I'm always real 100. Miss Priest knows this. If anyone in the NFC, if there's any team to watch out for upsets this season, for sure, in particular, it is the Lions.
Yeah,
They
we're
have
gonna
been
get in.
scrappy for the last couple of years, always one touchdown or one field goal away from, putting a hole in it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, we're gonna
that
get
that
into.
has a
We're
lot
gonna
to be
get in.
said with what they did. My drafts, I think they were wise. I think they could have maybe picked up a backup quarterback a little sooner, but it is what it is. In Kirk we trust.
Yeah, we're gonna get into like the NFC as far as the rankings, because right now, as far as the predictions go, this is the predictions of how that's gonna end up for the season. They have the Lions as number one, which Amanda, for the last couple of years, I've been saying Lions, 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 Lions. I said the Lions are ready to shock the NFL. I think
It's
the
our
Vikings,
year.
yeah, I think the Vikings are right
Man,
there, but I feel like the Lions are like poised. So they have the Lions number one, Vikings, the Packers, and Bears.
yep.
Now, I agree with the Lions, but I feel like the Bears might be right up there with the Vikings, and the Packers is like, okay, who are they? Everybody
I
wants
don't
to go. I feel like
I
it's
don't
gonna
know,
be.
Priest. I don't know. They
I feel
didn't
like,
draft
but
people to
let me
protect
it
Justin,
doesn't
man.
doesn't
They need
matter.
to
This is
protect
my
that baby.
this is my
Yes.
how I see it. This is how I see it. And everything I predicted so far, you go to the group post. Everything I predicted is happened.
Right?
All I'm saying is that
Yeah.
it's going to be the Lions. You got to look at it like this. Fields is a little rookie quarterback. He don't even know what he's doing. He's out there like
Right.
it's me, like I'm me. Like it's me out there. Like what the what? And he
Yep.
still was ready. A couple rookie errors that kept him out of really going deep into the playoffs. Now he has help, so he doesn't have to run the ball. Now he has help. So I feel like that the Vikings and the Bears are going to be right there together. The Lions is just consistency. So now let's talk about this. Look at Amanda. So John, how do you feel about that? We're going to go John, Amanda, and then Brandie. As far as who do you feel like? How do you feel like the division is going to go this upcoming season?
Okay, realistically, I look at. Let me just start work with my team. Um, Coming off of what people want to harp on that 3 win, but you got to realize what did I think was it? Brandie said chess, not checkers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, you have a team that's not going to go anywhere, and you get all of that, all those high salaries. Why go down that road? That's why I said we have a very wise GM. What team wouldn't have tanked that situation? And as a result, we have our DJ Moore. We had the number one pick, which we were able to, like, for 2 years have a future. So with that being said, I'm not gonna just say that the Bears are gonna necessarily win the division and go, and they just might. If you look at what Field did single-handedly by himself,
Yeah.
tell people
Right.
you can't throw the ball and then run out there and catch the ball, and you don't kick the ball. You can't get kicked the extra points missing that. So the fact that Fields did, I mean, it wasn't like we got blowed out without having any defense that was tanked, and the offense, no offensive line. So now the
No
answer,
line.
I feel,
No line. That
Not
baby
but
got creamed.
so how do
yeah,
you feel like how do you feel how do
exactly.
you see the division ending up,
I
John?
see, okay, realistically, I see Detroit and, like you said, Chicago and Minnesota. I think they're sleeping on what Chicago is going to do offensively. If we get that defensive end, then we have a nice linebacking core, secondary. So okay, if we get that
Mm,
defensive end, because we were the lowest at sacks, we
mm.
thanked our team to be able to put ourselves in a position to win in the future. So I know for sure we're not going to be a 3-win season. I personally believe we will be fighting for 2 and never know. I hate to say this, but Detroit, they have a good team, but Detroit still has, even with the team they had last year, they still didn't make the playoffs. See what I'm saying?
But that was consistency. So I think they'll be okay. Now, what about you, Amanda? Amanda's coming back in. So let's go Brandie, then go Amanda, since the lines or she's getting settled in. So let's go Brandie, then Amanda. How do you see the division ending up?
Well, I'll tell you right now, I mean, with my quarterback having consistency this season in his line is going to be all the difference. He's been able to build relationships with his line. There's, returning players to where they've meshed well, right? Mm-hmm. They've got a squad that now they know what their neighbor's going to do. They haven't had that in a minute. They haven't had that with the same head coach giving consecutive things with a little, twist to it. They haven't had that. I believe this year my squad's got some camaraderie to put up with the scrappy, and we going somewhere. However, I'm not sleep on the Lions.
Are you going to go home at the end of the season, or are you going to be number 1? So what do you think?
Oh, baby, we taking number 1. We taking number 1, but I do believe the Lions is going to be number 2. I ain't sleep on that. I believe the Lions are going to be number 2, and it's going to be a scrap out between Green Bay and the Bears. I'm sorry. The Bears have not gathered enough protection around Justin to where he can sit in the pocket. If that baby continues to run like he has been, he's going to keep getting creamed. That is not sustainable for nobody's lifestyle, let alone a quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
But this is the thing. When Fields was, like you said, when he was rolling, he rode well. The issue was that he made a couple rookie errors that cost him the game. Had that not happened, there would be no issue with Tim rolling. Whereas I feel like the difference is like Lamar. Lamar doesn't know when to stay in the pocket and when to go. I feel like Justin, IQ is I feel like his IQ is a little bit better. Right. Look at Amanda. And let's go to Amanda. She came in, jumped right into her lines gear. She's like,
there she goes. Yeah.
She's like, you already know. So Amanda, how do you feel like the division's gonna end up? She's like, look. Your mic is mute.
You're on mute.
I'm saying I have the villain shirt on because this year, we're gonna be, everybody's gonna be angry at the Lions this year because it's our year. I keep telling you guys that. You don't want to believe me, but it's gonna happen. She said we were gonna be number 2, but no, we're gonna be number 1 this year. You guys are gonna find out. We almost made it to the playoffs, and what the Lions do typically is leave it in someone else's hands. But this year, I think we've gotten all the pieces together to really push through and make it our season this year and not leave it in someone else's hands. I think that is a big part of our history, is that we usually fall just short. It's a very common thing for us every season to just barely miss it, or we're right there on the verge of making incredible plays. And it is Lions history for us to have a bit of like a voodoo doll type scenario where players break their arms by trying to save their pizzas or falling downstairs trying to take their dogs to the bathroom. Like, we have that history of just weird things happening. Already this season, we've lost someone that we tried going after and picked up for the whole year. I mean, the gambling thing. So, there's always something that happens, right? We kind of expect that as Lions fans, but I'm still really confident and I'm still really excited about where the season can take us this year, because we just have so many of the right pieces, I feel like, finally. We have a right coach who's putting the right pieces together on the checkerboard.
So you feel like you guys are going to be number 1. I mean, I agree with that for the last couple of years. Now, how do you feel like the rest of the teams are going to wind up?
I mean, we all know that the Packers are going to be in last place. I don't think that's a question.
I'm dead. See, I didn't even go there, but it's great. It's great.
I don't even think that's a question. They're going to be in last place.
It's not.
I do feel like, second and third is going to be a battle between the Bears and the Vikings. Yes, I really do feel like it's going to be an interesting season this year because with Rodgers gone and with so many players retiring or moving on or being suspended and so forth, it really just opens it up so much for every team to really kind of like make their way this year. So it's going to be a really exciting division. I think Bears 2 and I think Vikings 3. What I'm going to call it this year.
Yeah,
Hater. Okay.
I think it's gonna be close, but I think the reason why I said it's gonna be battle between the 2 and 3 is because even though Fields has a high football IQ for a QB, he might potentially make a couple errors that will push them to 3. But I do feel like that if I'm just looking at as far as what I do feel like that it's going to be Lions, Bears, Vikings, and then oh my, because we don't know what what
Lord, my heart is breaking right now. Like my heart is breaking right now, Priest. Like literally, like what? No, no.
You know why I say that? Because the reason why I say that, because I feel like if the Vikings were going to do something, I feel like it should have been last year.
No, no.
Wait a minute, because you asked me, so now I got to tell
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
You know,
There's that.
just let me just clarify this. Now, I love the Vikings. I feel like they are a good team, but I'm gonna tell you, I've been watching football for decades, and I'll probably say one of the best photos, one of the best feel goods I've ever seen in the game. And this is from a die-hard Raiders fan that went through the mat and that went through like the GOAT with Davis and all this stuff. I'm telling you, I just like breathe football. One of the most epic things I've ever seen, one of the most epic photos was that Bears water game. When I saw Fields and those guys coming in that field and they showed the passion for the game, like, listen, yes, we're pro players. Yes, we're out here doing what we do. No matter what, I love this game. And when I saw that, and then they're adding players and the chemistry, I feel like they had the most momentum going in with the additions that they've done during the offseason. Not saying that the Vikings may not come in number 2 or number 1. I just feel like after that and seeing what they were going to, watching Fields on the field and doing what he's doing and like loving the game and just that natural athleticism. I have to go. I love that. I love seeing it in the player, and I love that seeing it within the team. So that's why I said Bears second. Now, what were you saying, John?
Add this about what you were saying. Piggyback on it's the intangibles. Yeah, I mean everything looks good on paper, but coming from ever since pretty much Jim McMahon and maybe a couple of others that we've had horrible quarterbacks. So Fields is the first one outside of really like Jim McMahon that I see in terms of have the type of leadership that if I was a football player, I would follow him into battle, because unlike somebody like Hitler, who would just quit on the team when we had Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey, Forte, and Martellus Bennett, and he quit on the team. Fields is the type to say, well, hey, I'm going to lead by example. And I see a whole lot of crybaby quarterbacks that unless they have their star a wide receiver, they'll quit on the team and they'll talk about they want to get traded. I wish Steve was here so I could say this to him about his former quarterback.
Yeah,
even exactly. Though the Bears, I mean, there's a lot of prima donna quarterbacks, and Field is not one of those. He was like, hey, I'm a warrior. I'm here. Give me the players, and and I'll lead those players. So that's just that I feel good about.
I just, that photo right there, like I said, after watching, I mean, I've watched so many games. I've forgotten more games than the average person has watched. Let's put it like that. So I used to watch them every single game with my dad. So let's go to Brandie, because I know that she had to grab some Kleenex and get herself together.
What's all?
So, Brandie, why do you feel like that? What makes you feel like that the Vikings are gonna, push out the Lions or the Bears? Are you here? Are you here, Brandie? So we got Steve back.
I'm here.
So let's go to Steve, because I think Brandie, she's like getting herself together with the predictions. So Steve, this is the order that according to the polls, this is the order they have the teams ending up for the season: Lions, Vikings, Packers, then Bears. Do you agree with that, or do you feel like that the Packers are going to win the division?
Is that a question for me? I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah,
I lost connection here. Actually, I
that's
lost
okay.
my
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
that's
I
a
lost my
question.
Wi-Fi. But anyway, say that one more time.
So the way they have it ending up for the season, the prediction for the season is that the Lions will be first, Vikings second, Packers third, and Bears fourth. Do you feel like that's the order it will go in?
No, not actually. No. Actually, I have been saying for a couple of years. I think the Lions are going to be number one, and it's
Man,
actually going to be between. I have to say maybe Minnesota, Green Bay, and Chicago, but that can change.
so you feel like it's gonna
I
you feel like it's gonna be like they predicted then, because they have Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bears.
um actually I don't know. I mean, the season hasn't even started, so nobody knows anything.
Yeah, but
But
this is
I
just
will
this
tell
is
you
just a
this:
guess. This is just a guess of
I
how you
don't
feel
think
like.
Green Bay is going to be in the. I don't think Green Bay is going to finish number one. I'm
Okay,
just going to say that.
Brandon, you back?
Can you hear me?
Yes. So why do
Okay,
you feel
awesome.
okay? So let's get back to what we're talking about. To why do you feel like, or what makes you feel like that the Vikings, give your order again, and why do you feel like the Vikings are going to be number one?
Okay, so I believe Vikings won. The reason for my pick is obviously it's my diehard team, but besides the fact of that, my quarterback has had a second year.
Oh, she went out again, right? She faded out. I think she has bad reception. So let's talk about the quarterbacks. Because we mentioned Rogers. Let's talk about Rogers, because Amanda, you brought up an interesting point earlier when we're talking about the evolution of the game. Do you feel like now, which I do, but do you feel like now that Rogers is no longer quarterback for the Packers, do you feel like now that the NFC North is going to evolve and change to be more reflective of what's going on with the rest of the league? So we're going to go Amanda, John, Steve, and then Brandy.
I do. I think that with Rogers gone, finally kind of alleviates a lot of the drama, not just for Green Bay, but for the rest of the division. I mean, it really gives a chance for, I think, other quarterbacks to shine. I know Cousins has a really hard time in the playoffs. Goff also, he's made it to the playoffs with other teams, can't quite get to that Super Bowl victory. So it's really going to be kind of like a testament. And then you have Fields, who's a baby. So, you don't really know what he's going to do, which is like kind of the wild card, right? Like,
Yes.
he has all this potential, but nobody really knows at this point yet, what's this guy going to show? What is he really going to put out there? The team that they're building around him, what are they going to produce? Are they going to really help him out? Is it going to improve the talent that he's already got? And so it can be something that is, week one, you're already seeing like, man, they're going to be a contender with what they have now, or is it going to be kind of like the same old years of, well, we kind of just go get to the playoffs and then round one we're all out. What's going to happen there? I think that's kind of what is on everybody's wants, is to just see what we can really do in the playoffs. And we were so close last year as the Lions, right there. It's a shame that we let another team decide our fate because of the way we played at the beginning of the season. I think we really have to have the mentality of playing hard for the playoffs as soon as week one starts, even in the off season. Stop trying to like, oh, well, we'll pick it up, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, and then we'll get going. It's going to have to be a full year push or a full season push of start hard, finish hard, for us to really get out there. And I think that for us, especially having Goff and not having Stafford be injured for so many seasons in a row, or you just don't know if his back is going to hold up, or, are we paying him another $100 million to, maybe have a winning season? With those kind of definitives out of the way, it really just is anybody's game at this point. And that's what makes it so exciting, right?
So you guys, so we're going to go with Steve, then John, then Brandie. So basically I'm asking, because we know we're going to talk about what your team needs to do going forward to make it to the playoffs. Right now, we're talking about just the game of football. When you have certain, like the Brady's, when Brady retired, we all know that the quarterback position, you can see the difference. It has been evolving in the last 4 or 5 years, but you really see the difference with Brady retired. So now that Rodgers is out of the NFC North, and he's at the Jets, and he's playing that newer style of football, do you feel like that the NFC North, like there's going to be either a new face in the NFC North? If so, who? And do you feel like the game itself is going to be more reflective of what's going on with the rest of the NFL? So we're going to go Steve, John, and then Brandie.
Oh, that's a good question. Right now, I've always said that Lions have a good team, good quarterback. Then again, Justin Fields is learning. I think this year is going to be a wide open situation for the quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins, he's up and down. I don't know, and I have to say I'm a Packer fan. I was up there Saturday watching training camp, and in the beginning, Jordan Love did not look that good. So yeah, I'm kind of worried.
Okay, so what about you, John? Do you feel like there's going to be a new face emerging? Do you feel like there's going to be where we're going to see like a transition, a passing of the guard, so to speak, this season?
Yeah, most definitely. And I guess what's been pretty perplexing me is in terms of the scrutiny with Fields. Fields has shown what he's capable of on a bad, busted team, a team that probably couldn't even
bad busted.
You know what I'm saying? So now he has a GM. Remember his rookie year, he had a coach that was either trying to set him up to fail or was just incompetent in terms of Nagy, that was going to get the guy killed. And then the second year had another offensive coordinator on a team that was tanked. And with that, like I mentioned before, he single-handedly carried a bad team on his back. That was always in the game. But now for me, Love is the X factor because Field has, 2 seasons. How many games has Love actually thrown? He's the X factor.
Exactly.
We don't know what he can do. And I think Green Bay really knows that too. And that quarterback, I personally feel more comfortable about what I've seen in Fields than Love. And if you want to go back to Aaron Rodgers, remember when Devontae Adams left, his mind was pretty much out of there because unless he has those stud receivers to catch the ball, I mean, as a quarterback, you're only as good as your wide receivers. Ask Montana with Jerry Young, Jerry Rice, and John Taylor, and the list goes on. So it's easy to say when you have a quarterback who has stud wide receivers that he's the man. But if you just follow the trends, for every star quarterback, you've had stud wide receivers. And last year, Fields didn't have that. He would get better throwing the ball and running out there and trying to catch it himself after Mooney went down. So as long as GM around him, I have nothing but the utmost confidence that he will be the face at the NFC North and in that prototype quarterback. I feel that.
Okay, what about you, Brandie? Did you let me repeat the question, or are you good to you understand?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Hi, Brandie.
Yeah, she keeps losing reception. I guess sometimes that happens. So we'll see if she comes back on a little bit. So while we're talking about that, Steve, you did have a question for John earlier about the player you were talking about. Who were you? If he had heard about a player coming to you guys, who was that?
I'm sorry, say that again?
You had a question for John earlier about had he heard a player. Oh, here's Brandie coming back now. Let me add her back.
Sorry about that, you guys.
Oh,
I don't
Okay,
know.
yeah,
I
you
stepped
keep.
outside.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, okay, so you ready to answer?
Yes, absolutely. So as far as quarterbacks go for the season,
No, not
I
as
be-
far as quarterback. This is the question because I get to some people. I mean, sometimes the new face is a quarterback, but not always. I would like to see the NFL get away from the quarterback has to win the MVP and that stupid stuff. It's just stupid. I hate that. The question is do you feel like that the game will show more of an evolution with Rodgers not being in the NFC North? And do you feel like there's going to be a new face emerging since Rodgers is not there?
I'm sorry. One more time.
Okay, so Rodgers, there's static. So right now we know that Rodgers is not in the NFC North. The question is, now that Rodgers is not in the NFC North, do you feel that the NFC North will be more reflective of what's happening with the rest of the NFL as far as the faster gameplay and just the way the ball is played? And if so, do you see a new face or a player emerging as the new face or the player to beat in the NFC North?
So I absolutely believe there's opportunity for someone to step into that gap and take over that, champion belt from Rodgers, which he has held for so long in the NFC North. That's true. Um, I believe Kurt has the potential. He's got to get past his own mediocrity and push past it. And he's gonna be he's gonna be one of the greats. We're gonna be talking about Kurt for some time. Stats don't lie, y'all. The numbers speak for themselves. It's just unfortunate we haven't pushed it to a championship. And I really believe that this year he's got an opportunity to feel comfortable, mesh, and push past it because now he's got trust with this line. And I believe we're going to see him getting a lot more time in that pocket, y'all. I really believe Kurt could be great. I don't know as far as the NFC North face of it, as far as the quarterbacks, but I know he's going to be one to talk about from years to come. Hello?
Yeah, hello, I can hear you.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was saying. I'm like, I believe my quarterback's pretty phenomenal. He's got a cannon and he's got accuracy and he strives and pushes hard. So I believe he could step up to be that one that everybody.
So, Brandie, can I ask you a question? Do you think that Kirk Cousins has to bring his level of cocky?
Are you there, Steve? I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I
I'm
was
here.
on mute. My bad. I
Yeah,
believe Kurt's got it in him. I believe he can push past that mediocrity.
I don't know why
He's got a
I
good
don't know why
squad
I got
around him.
silence here.
Do we lose somebody? We lose
Well,
our.
apparently, Pris.
I don't know what's going on with my mic.
I'm still here. Did we lose Pris?
I
Because
think so.
I can't hear her anymore.
She muted.
So I'm
That's
here, guys.
exactly
But
who I
guess
thought we
what,
lost. I was
guys?
like, wait, what
Guys,
happened?
guys, this is the thing.
Oops.
We're gonna go through each question.
Okay, there's a
Someone is
breakup here. I hear
well.
feedback.
We're gonna go through each question, and we're gonna give everyone a chance to answer that question. And then, if you have a question, when I open it up, you will be able to ask questions of each person, the guest, to see if you have a specific question for that particular person. Because it's not fair for Amanda to sit back versus moving to the next question, or John, if we're just asking specific people questions. Everyone needs to have a chance to voice their opinion. since you guys all mentioned that besides John, everyone mentioned that their quarterback was basically possibly be the next face. Let's talk about the quarterbacks. One question, one answer only. Out of the 4 quarterbacks in the NFC North, who do you feel like is the number 1 quarterback? Just give a name. Give the name of the person that you feel like is the quarterback number 1 and why. We're going to go Amanda, John, Brandie, Steve. Go ahead, Amanda.
I mean, my answer is going to be Goff. I mean, even though I'm not the biggest Goff fan, I do think out of everyone in the North, at least, I think that we have the best chance and the best team built around him to succeed. I mean, at this point, I really feel like if he doesn't succeed, then it's on him, because we've done so much to really build around him to make things happen in a positive way. So, if he shoots himself in his own foot, in a sense, I really feel like he only has himself to blame. I do kind of feel like that is how it is with most quarterbacks in general. But with the talent that we have now around him, there's no reason why he shouldn't succeed.
Okay, what about you, John? Who's the number 1 quarterback in the division and why?
I will go with my guy Fields because I'm looking at it from a defensive coordinator perspective. If I had to scheme for everything else being equal, if I had to scheme for any of the quarterbacks there, he would probably be the biggest nightmare for me because of the dual threat there. Like I said, as long as his wide receivers can break free, can clear, and catch the ball when it's thrown. I've seen him put the ball right there. So people talk about he can't throw. I've seen a whole bunch of things that just prove that. So again, from a defensive coordinator perspective, I would have to say Fields because nobody else in the division poses the dual threat that he does.
Right, I'm agree with you. I think he's the most versatile out of the division. Now, Steve, who do you feel like is the number 1 quarterback and why?
I actually got 2 names.
Is one quarterback and why?
I'm kind of afraid of right now. I am honestly. I have to say, I'm kind of afraid of Fields this year.
So Fields, I think he's the most versatile. I mean, I don't know. I just think he's just going to be phenomenal. Do you want to say why, Steve?
First of all, last year and the year before that, he did a lot of running and he got banged up. He didn't have a lot of receivers, and now in the offseason, I watched, John. They picked up some good guys.
That poor baby.
And I'm being truthful. I mean,
Yeah. I'm just Steve. You know what? It makes me proud to get you to this point to where you can say that. Because how many shows has it been since I've been trying to get you to acknowledge and to be to say?
Yeah, I know. I was just waiting for it. Waiting for it.
What about you, Brandie?
That is so hilarious. So honestly, I believe Kurt's going to have a breakthrough season, and I think it's going to be really, really eye-opening to a lot of people. I'm not sleep on Justin. Let's be real and completely honest. Ain't nobody sleep on Justin. We know he's scrambling. He's got that star power like Cam Newton did, where he can just bust out when he doesn't see an open throw, and everyone has to be aware of that threat. You are absolutely correct.
So
but the problem with that is they need to protect him to be able to make those decisions.
But right now we're talking about all we did, Brandie. All we did was
breaking up.
Her static. She has static on her mic. So that was that. So let's do one last question, then we'll open it up for you guys to ask each other questions or to talk about some other stuff. If you had to pick one game that you can't wait to go to this year or can't wait to attend, what game would that be? We're gonna go look at Amanda.
Hi, Amanda. Hi, sweetie.
We're gonna go Brandie, John, Steve, and Amanda. What game are you looking forward to attending this year?
I mean, all of them. Let me quit.
What's going to be your number one?
I'm gonna love. I think we're gonna go out of town to the Denver game, so I think that's gonna be like the highlight of my season as far as going out of town and
Okay,
really
so
enjoying that game. And at that point in the season, I'll have more of an idea of what my squad is capable of and what they're doing as well.
okay. What about you, John? You're mute. Your mic is mute. Your mic is mute, John.
Hit the button.
Okay, there you go. I would love to see, and that's what I'm still seeing if I can work on that Bears Kansas
Yeah.
City.
In Kansas City?
Yes, that would
Yeah.
be.
Go
That would,
ahead.
Woo!
I'm checking the options right now. So if I can pull my guys together and we can get some tickets, because I mean I'll check because getting tickets in Soldier Field is kind of rough unless you're a season ticket holder. But if we'll see. We'll see.
What about you? What about you, Steve?
Oh, well, what game am I? Well, I'm going to the Packers Saints game at Lambeau, but I really wouldn't mind. And John, maybe you can hook me up, man. Like to see you in Chicago.
Well, I live in Alabama, so
Oh, well, okay, well.
So your game is. What about you, Amanda? What game are you looking forward to seeing? Is your mic?
I'm on mute. I keep forgetting to hit on mute. I was making dinner, so I didn't want to pots and pans everyone. I am so looking forward to season opener against the Chiefs. I'm ready to.
Is that Kansas City?
It's in Kansas City. It's their ceremony for the Super Bowl, their ring ceremony. I'm ready to come into that and just completely kill their vibe right off the bat.
That's going to be awesome.
Very excited.
Hey, Pris, I have a question for you.
Wait a minute. I don't know what game I'm looking forward to going to. See, me, I don't like to post I'm going to this game. I just like to go because I feel like I'm kind of like a creeper. Like I'm just going to show up like, hey, or I'll post it after I leave. And that way I can just move how I want to move and do all that stuff. So I'm not sure yet. What's the question, Steve?
I have a question for you.
What's that?
You know the Packers are playing the Raiders, right?
Yes.
Okay, are you going?
I have no idea. I don't know that. I think if I go to any games, which I have a friend that works for the NFL. I have friends that work for various teams. So it's like I can get tickets. I'm not worried about that. But for me, I feel like if I go to a game this season, I don't necessarily know if it will be in Vegas. Because I feel like I would probably go to like a Lions versus Vikings game, either location. I may end up at the Jets versus Bills game. I may end up at a Tampa game because it's like a thing I have with Mimi to where if they win 11 games, I have to, go to a game. If Baker wins 11 games, I have to go to a Bucks game. So I think I would probably more so do that, or I will go to like the Miami game versus the Raiders. I may even go to a Saints game. I don't know. So I don't really know what game I'm going to.
The reason why I'm asking is my brother is going out there and I'm on standby and to go out to Vegas to watch the Raiders and Packers.
Nice. I think it's going to be packed. I think it's going to be a great game, but I don't know. I don't know. I think I would probably go to like some random game. Like it would be like Monday and there's a game Sunday and I say, hey, let me get myself some tickets or next week or something like that. Because I don't really worry about, I'm not, because I can always get tickets. If not, I can call up someone and say, hey, I want to go here. So it's not that, but I just want to go to where, it's going to be fun. And we talk about the fan.
I was just asking because I'm on standby and I think that's week 6 or something like that.
Yeah, something like someone else asked me about that. But for me, I want to go somewhere to where I'm going to have fun. I don't want to go somewhere to where it's like, we got more fans here than us. So now we got to fight everybody because they're in their, we got all black on and they got green on, and it's 60% more green and black. So now we got to fight everybody. Stop it. I'm trying to look cute. You see what I'm saying? I want to be in the game. I want to look cute. I want to wear my Raiders
Chris,
stuff.
I have never not seen you on point ever, so I don't think that's a problem for you at all whatsoever.
I want to wear my little Raiders stuff. I get along with everyone. I have a problem with any fan that has a problem with other fans that's supporting their team. People pay good money for these tickets. If they're not bothering you and they're cheering, why are you focusing on them cheering for their team? Cheer for your team, and everyone have a good time, laughing, joke, and post selfies. Do what you do. So that's where I want to be there. Point me in that direction.
Okay, and Pris, thank you for doing all this for everybody in the division. And hey, guys, in the NFC North, I have a lot of respect for you guys, football fans. I love it. Okay, I do. I love it.
So let's get into the question. So, is there anything that that I didn't bring up that you want to ask one of the other guests, or that you want to talk about tonight? Because we always want to have an open format to where you've seen something, experienced something that you want to address. I think that's important. So we're gonna go John, Amanda, Steve, and then Brandie.
Yeah, I guess my question is for Steve, my NFC or Tundra buddy. How confident do you really feel at this point in terms of, the passing of the mantle to Love? Because you guys have had stud quarterbacks, for 20-something plus years.
35.
So the point, the morale. Let me just ask this: the morale in Green Bay, because I hear people talking about Fields, and I'm like, really? Outside of people that just don't like in Chicago a running quarterback, I would really think that the burden lies on Love. So what's your gut in terms of the feel there for him?
If you're asking about Jordan Love right now,
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I was up there on Saturday. He didn't look good right away, but then he lighted up the field. No pun intended. And then today I saw some stuff that he's making things happen. So my opinion, I'm going to be open. I have no idea what this season is going to bring. Seriously.
Okay.
And I'm saying, and Amanda, guess what? I've said for the last 3-4 years, I have been watching Detroit, and kind of scary.
You can come over to the dark side, Steve. You can come over. It's okay. We're very friendly. We serve, a whole Thanksgiving spread on the Thanksgiving Day game. We're friendly. You can just wear Honolulu blue anytime you want.
As do we, my dear. As do we.
I think that Steve actually.
I'm sorry. I forgot about Brandie. Hey, I'm sorry. I think they may do good, but this division right now, this year, is wide open, honestly.
Okay, so let's go to the next question. Brandie, you're next. Is there anything that I didn't ask or that you would like to talk about? Did you have a question for any of the other members, other guests?
Not at this moment, as far as any questions for anybody. I think it's just a matter of seeing how this preseason unfolds and how the teams solidify. And then, come week 2, we can start the trash talk after that first showing.
Yeah, so me, I'm a Raiders fan. We're gonna talk trash. We're gonna talk trash 365, and if it's leap year, it's gonna be 366 because we're gonna love our team. We're gonna support our team. It doesn't matter. We're gonna wear black. I had on my Raiders gear when it was 110 degrees, feel like outside. So we're just gonna rep regardless. That's just
honey, you ain't the only one. I get asked all the time. Is there a game today? I'm like, are you stupid? It's summertime. Shut up.
So what about you? What about you, Steve? Is there anything you can talk about? About or want to ask? Is his mic mute?
I'm sorry, what?
I said, is there anything that any topic that we didn't address, or any question you have for another guest that you want to
Oh,
ask?
yeah, I know you were going to bring that up. Okay, I'm going to bring it up. John, buddy, I think it was your other buddy the last time we talked. We made a bet about Chicago and Green Bay.
Anthony.
Or Anthony. Yeah. Okay, so here's the deal. There's a resident that I live with in here, and he is a big Chicago Cub fan or a Bear fan and that. I told him what I'm doing, and I told him about the bet, and he said he's got me Chicago stuff if I lose that bet. Is that fair enough, buddy?
When
Yep.
I think you need to change that to when you lose that bet.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, okay, so now I want to say in this division here, if the Packers lose to the Bears week 1, week 1, I will wear the Bears stuff. I will.
Oh yeah.
I want to know the rest of you. What are you going to do
No, wait,
if the Packers play you?
Steve. Just because you're gonna lose the bet and you got to wear Packers, why you?
Oh, I'm going to lose the bet. Oh, okay.
Why you got to try to include them? You know, misery loves company is basically what I'm saying. So you feel like that you want to have them wearing something, but let's ask them, Amanda, John, and Brandie. Do you want to place? I don't like to bet. I don't gamble. So would you like to come up with something fun to where if your team loses to the Packers, that you will wear a jersey? Because Steve has already placed that bet with John. So now he wants to get you guys to
John,
for the
I'm there, buddy.
He wants you guys to fall for the okie doke.
My
So
name is.
I
My name
am a
is.
very
I don't wear anybody else's colors.
Yeah, I'm the same way, John. I'm the same way. I don't unless it's Honolulu blue or a gray variety.
Come on, take the bet. Come on.
No, I stick with Lions gear, and that's the only gear that'll ever be on this body.
Oh, come
so.
on.
So what about so wait a minute, Steve. So that's 2 no to the okie dokes. Brandie?
That's an absolute not. Why would I do that? That's just crazy. I don't listen. I'm not spending my money on somebody else's team. I'm gonna wear what I got. That's what I got.
Okay, so now my question, because we play you guys this year, my question is absolutely freaking not. I'm not gonna make myself feel dirty. I'm not gonna lower my standards.
Look at Jeff. He's laughing. Look at him. Bro. All right.
Let me answer the question because I want this to be on the record. I refuse to lower my standards wearing some god awful green and yellow. No.
Yeah.
That's
green and yellow is not my color.
That's
not my color.
Religion.
that I am not gonna, have to get myself institutionalized because I'm wearing something that's just nasty. So no, my answer is no. So that answers your question. What about you, Amanda? Is there anything you want to bring up or talk about?
My question is actually for John. John, how do you feel about us taking Montgomery from you guys? And are you excited to see him be on the Lions so you can be a Lions fan as well this season? Or do you have potential for your running backs at all?
Well,
there you go.
I liked Montgomery when he was with the Bears, and he was good. But he was one of the people that they had to let walk so that we could be where we at right now. So I'm fine with who we have right now. Now, if they're able to get, I know there's I forgot where he's. They have the guy with the Colts, the running back for the Colts. He's not coming to camp, and if the Bears want to make a move. Even though we need a defensive end, but we may have to end up getting that next year, that stud defensive end. If the Bears want to get a superstar running, Montgomery was a good workhorse, and he was good. Don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't consider him a superstar running back, so it didn't really move me like that because the person that the people that we have, I believe they're good. they're not superstar running backs. So if Poles decided to pull the trigger, because we have the cap room to get that guy from Indianapolis, and they decided to do that with the expectation of, okay, we may not get a long-term pass rusher. If we get somebody a cheapie for a 1-year deal, realize we're still building, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. So to answer your question, I wasn't crying about it.
Yeah, no, you're good. I really do feel like you guys are putting a lot of bet and a lot of weight behind Fields and his potential to get downfield himself. I mean, he is a running quarterback. So, I mean, I just kind of wanted to hear your thoughts on that. And if you were excited to not have the running back position be Montgomery anymore since you're putting all your bets in on Fields, or if you still think you need that piece.
No,
Well,
the people who we have are more than competent, capable with Fields. I mean, put it like this. You don't have to be a star-studded running back as long as you have Field because of the threat that he poses. He's a multi-dimensional threat. I mean, if he was just in your pocket, just in the pocket, and there's a bunch of them out there that they can't run, and if their protection break down, they go into the neonatal position. If that was the case, then we our studded running back. That's not our situation. So we have more flexibility than most, I would say, with that.
Let me ask you guys a question, because you're talking about a running quarterback, and we all see what's happening with the running back position to where they're unhappy, they're not getting paid. Now, we know that we're witnessing the transition of the quarterback position as well as the game. Do you feel like, because most of these young QBs coming into the league and just the way they play, they are all running quarterbacks to where they're not going to set in the pocket? Do you feel like that is going to help phase out the running back position? We're going to go Brandie, Steve, Amanda, John.
I believe it's a very, very integral piece to the quarterback position. If you can't take a look and be able to scramble, it's going to be everything moving forward as we see the game progressing. I believe coming into the lead as a quarterback moving forward, you're going to have that scramble ability with that cannon to be able to deliver that arm with some accuracy down the field.
But wait.
I mean,
before you finish your answer, do you
Yep.
feel like, though, the way these quarterbacks are playing, because we've seen it, like most of these quarterbacks with the Allens, with the Burrow, all these quarterbacks, that's what they're doing. Do you feel like because they're playing this way, that the running back position, that's going to help phase out, because the NFL, the way they're not paying the running backs, do you feel like that's going to kind of help phase out the running back position altogether?
I think it's a key piece, and it's really, really sad because, in essence, you're asking a person to lead the team, make decisive decisions on throwing the ball, and be able to run the ball as well, except for handing it off to someone else who's supposed to support them. So that's a problem, and I do see it kind of phasing out, but it's going to be up to these, team coaches and offensive lines or offensive coaches also to step up for the running back position and be like, listen, this is a key piece to our puzzle. We can't go without it, whether they're garbage or not. Having them on the field takes that shadow off of the cornerback to make that decision to scramble or not. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I agree with that. Okay, so who was next? We'll go, looks like John. So we'll go Steve. How do you feel about that?
I guess, Pris, you said this before, that the running backs are slowly running out, and you have to have hybrids. You got to have like a running back. You got to have somebody going out there catching. You got to have that changes the game, which I kind of get. But also now the quarterbacks are coming in. They're starting to be the hybrids where they can run, pass, option, this and that, whatever. OP. I mean, it's not like the old days, I mean, Green Bay right now, they got 2 fullbacks in there. And I'm like, well, why? But maybe they will work out.
I doubt it, but I mean, that's Green Bay. What about you, John? Do you feel like that's going to help? That's going to phase out the running back position?
No, it's not going to phase out the position, because it's still, the running back position is still an integral part of the offense. But what I think it just comes down to economics. is going to devalue them, and because the mentality is that, you know, running backs come a dime a dozen. I think from a negotiation standpoint, they're going to probably lose leverage, but not necessarily phase out the position. Yeah,
That's a good point.
yeah, I feel for them because a lot goes into that. I mean, in any given player, you know, they've from the time, you know, in high school, college, and the amount that goes into it. I think what they add to a team is you know, is very valuable. But, you know, again, just the world in which we live, people try to devalue you. So
Exactly. What about you, Amanda?
Amanda, hi, sweetie.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm quietly eating my dinner. So as far as like the running back position goes, I think for us, at least in our history with the injuries, I mean, since my favorite Barry, I mean, running backs today, I don't feel like are valued as much as back, you know, in the 90s, you know, and even the 80s before that. You know, it's not the spotlight position, right? Like John touched on, I mean, there's a million running backs that you can choose from now. So I don't feel like they really get as much credit as they probably deserve. And especially with like their bodies and what they go through and how much just, you know, hits and physical, you know, aspects you have to be built for a running back. I mean, I think that it's very underestimated, but I don't think it's going to be phased out at all. I think it's definitely a position that, like you said, it adds value. There's always a need for that. There's specific schemes and specific plays that will just, you know, you have to have that running back position for those. And so I don't think it's going to be phased out at all. But I do think you are going to start seeing mobility and quarterbacks be a highlight more in teams and schematics, because you get these young guys like Fields that can, you know, move faster just by, you know, running at the snap than, you know, throwing. It's not like a Brady in the pocket type of scenario anymore. You know, that right. I think with Brady retiring, with, you know, Aaron Rodgers, you know, those guys, you know, they're in the pocket quarterbacks. They're not, you know, they don't have the arms like they do anymore. I feel like for a lot of those guys, if you're going to be successful like that, you have to be a guy that can be on target. You've got to be able to throw far downfield as well, make those quick shotgun passes. There's so much that goes into being, I feel like, a pocket quarterback, and I feel like it's very few and far between now, because I do feel like those mobile quarterbacks are the way to go. I think that that's what kind of teams are looking for, and I think that that's the scheme of the future, at least for now. Yeah. But I still think that the running backs are valued. There's still a place for them.
Well, I feel like the position, as far as phasing out, it's not going to be the same position. And I know, Steve, you know, for the last couple of years, I've been saying about the hybrid players, and I've been saying this is a new phase of the game to where we're going to see this faster game. And I think the next phase is going to be that the running back, depending upon the team, the running back is not going to have that that highlighted position like it is now, just because players are going to be like, well, I'm not going to do running back. I'm taking these hits and I'm not getting compensated for that. I'm just not. And I don't blame them, but I do see a new phase to where that the new quarterbacks, as Steve know, I've talked about a lot, is going to be more of that hybrid player, to where they're going to be hybrid quarterback, running back. Whether they be compensated for that is that's a whole other story. But I feel like that's what it's going to come to. So, guys, we're going to give you a chance to give a message for either the rest of the fan base, and then you can, you know, drop a little knowledge on the rest of the NFL as far as the other fan bases, or just the NFC North. I know Amanda needs to eat our dinner, so we're going to wrap up the show with that. And then we're definitely going to come back again, because I feel like that we're going to just mark your calendars for after that first week, because I kind of feel like that part of Steve's losing bet should be to do a show wearing the Bears gear. I
will. I said I take the bet. Okay, John, so... are you with that one?
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, I'm most definitely a log on for that one.
Okay, right. So
Amanda, how about you? Are you in?
Yeah, I'll message. I'll message now. We're gonna do it so it doesn't have to be right after the first show. You know me. I know all your schedules are different, so I'll shoot you a message and we'll get a date and time to works best for everyone. So we're gonna wrap up the show with basically you're gonna be able to give a message to either the rest of the NFL, either to beware or what is your last little piece you want to say, either to the opposing teams, NFC North, or whatever have you. So we're gonna go Steve, John, Brandie, and then Amanda because her team has been predicted to reign supreme this coming year. So we're gonna go
Uh-oh,
John,
look. Oh. All
John,
right.
Steve. Oh, so go Steve, John, Brandie, then Amanda.
All right. If I got to start first, I said earlier, and Amanda, your team might be there. Yeah. Okay. Actually, after that, I don't know if it's going to be Minnesota. I don't know if it's going to be the Bears. I don't know. It's a wide open. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of looking forward to it. But Amanda, I've said for the last few years, watch out for the Lions. I have said that. And John, actually, the last few years, I'm like, okay, the Bears are getting there too. Minnesota, not so much. But
Okay, so John, what's your message?
Hater.
What's the right?
oh,
What's your message for the rest of the either the NFL or your division?
Yeah, well, my message is, I guess, pretty much to the league. It's always good to be underestimated. So, like you said, that according to the the projection that the Bears will come in last, that's exactly, again, that's a good position to be, especially with a 3-14 record before. Again, you can't go any further. So I'm looking at the sky is the limit in terms, and I'm excited about the season because I think Poles is creating a team that is positioned for the next couple of years. Again, he wasn't thinking about last year. He was thinking about in the future. So I'm excited about not just for this season, but for the seasons to come, actually.
Nice. What about you, Brandie?
Well, as always, I'm gonna ride hard for my Vikings, and I believe we're gonna pull it off this year. I believe this is our final. This is our year, man. We got to do something. We've come so close to only have it just glimmer away by stupid, calls and whatever else.
Oh, you
Um,
almost had it.
I'm just saying, when your coach changes the playbook in a playoff game, that throws the whole team off. Sorry, can't win that way. So now we have a coach that has a vision and has an idea. You can't just change the script on them before the biggest game of their life. So that's going to be all the difference. And the camaraderie and the trust that has been built within the team for this season is going to be amazing. Now, and I agree with you, Steve. I've been saying for the past couple of years how scrappy them daggone Lions are. Man, they've always listen, it's either a one touchdown or a field goal away game for all of us in the division. I need y'all to take the stats on that. For all of us in the division, in the division games with the Lions, it's either a blowout or it's a scrap out. So we got to be, key of that and can't be sleep on that. I'm not sleep on you Bears either. I was really, really sad that y'all got my feels, my Ohio State boy, but it is what it is. I just need y'all to protect him because that baby's been scrambling and getting beat up. So he needs some help to be phenomenal. I don't know about you Packers, man. I'm over y'all. Y'all done. I'm sorry. Overrated. My bad, Steve. It's all real. It's all real. It's a wrap.
okay.
Y'all lost y'all's golden goose. It's a wrap. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I'm really excited to see my team push past that mediocrity and excel to greatness. And I got my eye on them Lions.
See?
What about you, Amanda?
Well, I think that everyone knows that the Lions are taking the number one spot. So I don't think I need to speak to our division because it's just known at this point. So I think I'll just speak to the rest of the NFL in general, especially Cowgirl fans and Broncos fans
Man,
and Chiefs fans. We're coming. We're coming for all of these teams this year. Hope Russell Wilson is got some energy. Hope Sierra let him rest over the off season because it's happening this year. This year it's happening, and it's going to be a big year for the Lions. And I'm saying it right now, and I'm sticking behind it. I'm super excited, and I think that as long as we're all good fans and nice to each other, and we just have unity and just enjoy the game and enjoy the process, it's going to be a fantastic season, no matter what team you're with. I really do believe that.
I agree with that. I am definitely looking forward to the season. My message to the fans: stop it. If you see people, no, for real, I'm being real serious here. I'm being real serious. As serious as I can be because I'm always laughing. Let people enjoy the games. It doesn't matter, who they root for. You don't know if they saved up 50 years to go to that one game. And then you're upset because your team took the L and you want to be punching somebody in the face. Stop it. Let them enjoy their game. It doesn't matter if you're in the nosebleed section, as they like to call it, or the 50-yard line, or wherever you're at. You're in the stadium. It doesn't matter if you're watching on the teleprompter, out in tailgating. Let the fans enjoy the game. We don't have anything to do with the players. Each other and enjoy the game that we all love. And as far as anyone hating on your team, because I know like the Cowboys fans, if you post something that you have to be hating on him, let me tell you something. Die hard. Like I'm like a bleeding Raiders fan. I don't care nothing about them girls, boys, what you want to call them. I don't care. I don't. Get over yourselves. I don't. I'm a Raider. We're going to the Raiders, but I do like player teams. Think that okay. And we have to learn to get along and let each other celebrate teams. And, we could be going back and forth during the game, but at the beginning of the game, during the game, or whatever, we should be fans and celebrate the game. Let people enjoy these games because I'm tired of seeing these, fighting and stuff. If I have a game, I can't wear some cute sandals or whatever, and I got to be running and, all this. I think that's too much. I think we just need to learn to enjoy the game.
People need to be fan of fans.
Yep. And at the end,
I'm not gonna be.
I would like to say this group right here, NFC North, Amanda, John, Pris, too, and Brandie.
No, stop it.
It's gonna be a good.
I'm not no NFC North. But go ahead.
Get it together. Get it together. Get it together.
I think that I'm not a fan of fans. I respect other fans, but I don't feel like anyone necessarily, that's just me. I don't necessarily feel like that anyone has to adapt that mentality, but I do feel like that we have to learn to respect other fans and let them enjoy the game. Let them root for their teams without it being competition between the fans. I think that's silly.
100.
Yeah, because the only people get
that's Brandie's mic. The only people that what?
Oh yeah, because like I tell people that want to debate and get real ugly online on the that want to come to the Chicago Bears page and throw shade. It's like at the end of the day, I are getting paid for this. That's not what I do for a living. So we can have fun and the game at this, but all that other extra stuff and try to put somebody down and get all ignorant about it. It's like I don't get paid for this. That's but if maybe you do. I'm saying maybe you do, but I don't. So I can only take it so serious. Now, I'm a diehard Bear fan, but at the end of the day, they're the ones that's getting paid, not me.
Exactly. And I think that's what people need to realize, because I've seen like so many different videos to where people are running and there was some guy that was like his first game, and he's like, he's in the hospital. He was in the hospital because of whatever, because he went to a stadium and it was more of his fans there than other fans. I mean, that's silly. If you have a problem with that, just say, hey, I'm going to this game, and get your friends and get your other fan base, other people that like that team, and do group tickets. Go at the same time if you only want to go to games where it's more of your fans, which is silly, because then you're living your life based upon who's in the stands, not your team. So check yourself on that, because that's just silly. And I'm gonna call you out on that, because I don't care. That's just me. So that's just
100.
how I do it. So anything else you guys want to say? I know, Steve, you were saying something.
I was just going to say that in this division with you guys, I'm glad to talk with you. No harm, no foul, all good play. Best of luck to every one of you, man. I'm serious. That's John. Anytime you want to hook up or whatever, man, I'm okay with that. I know I talk to Amanda every once in a while. Brandie, maybe not so much. I know Pris, I talk to you, a lot. So, but yes, I will take that bet. I said, I'm a football fan. I will take that bet. So yes, I will have a shirt, hat, whatever after the Packer Bear game. Okay.
Okay. So you guys listening?
Sounds awesome.
So you guys listening, these are members of my Facebook group. This is Pris Wood, and we are National Football Lovers. Like I said, invite your friends. Send an invite if you want to join the group, because we do have a lot of fun in the group. It is real laid back. It's not a lot of animosity, because personally, I don't have time for that. I don't even have the energy for that. I just can't. So we're going to go around. They're going to tell those listeners how to get in contact with you, how to follow you. I'll probably do a post in the group as well. I know a lot of people have Instagram or whatnot. So we're going to go Brandie, Steve, John, and then, like I said, Amanda, because her team is predicted to be number one at the end of the season. So, Brandie, tell people how to find you. Like I said, they're all in National Football Lovers group. You can find them there. But Brandie, if you want to give your Instagram or whatever, or TikTok, if you have, let them know how to find you.
My Instagram is bnice01. You can follow me all day, or you can find me in the tailgate lots at any home game outside of my U.S. Bank Stadium. And yes, we will travel to away games, and we love to go and welcome the camaraderie and welcome you in, feed you, have a great time while we take the win. So even though you predicted the number one, Amanda, you're going down. Skull Vikings.
Real quick though, is your Instagram bnice01 or bnice
bniceb01.
That's right there. Okay. So we'll go Steve.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have Instagram. I'm kind of old school, so I either do the Facebook or whatever. You'll be able to find me. John, if you want to look up, man, hook up. I'll be a friend with you, bro.
Okay. Did we connect already? Let's double check. If not,
yeah. So you're free to find him in the group. His is Steve Kuehmichel. You guys.
Okay, we'll connect.
You can
find Kuehmichel. Yeah.
Steve Kuehmichel. So you'll be able to connect with him as well.
I know, Amanda. I have you, right, sweetie?
How about you, John?
Yeah. You can connect with me on either Instagram, more MOORE, the number 4. MORE_productions, or you can catch me on Facebook, John S.More MOORE Jr. So, and go Bears. And I wish you all, outside of when we play you guys, I wish you guys the best. But when we play, it's all hey. But outside of that,
Facts.
And when it comes down to a game, the division, and if it comes down to you guys playing in Detroit, you guys playing in New York, or Atlanta, whatever, and if it's between us and you guys, I want you guys to lose. Outside of that, hey, it's all good. It's all.
I hear you. Same way, man. Same way, bro. I mean, when it comes down, right now, I figure you guys are friends. After we're playing each other, oh hell no.
What about you, Amanda?
So you can find me on my Instagram. It's Amanda Caring with 2 R's. And that's usually what I use nowadays. I'm a little slow with the Facebook now. So Instagram is the way to go.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know, I know that Amanda and Brandie, they do a lot as far as following their team and stuff like that. So you definitely want to check them out. I know John, of course, is on Instagram, so you definitely follow him. if you go to the No Ordinary Huddle page on Facebook, I've listed any Instagram that I have, so you can also find them there. Once again, my name is Pris Wood. If you find me, you find me. I'm more of a person. I'll connect with you. You don't need to connect with me. I'm sorry. Love you though, but that's just me. I'm weird. I'm weird like that, and I love it. That's just how I am. I mean, sorry. So thank you guys. Look at John. Thank you guys.
Hey, no, thank you for having us.
Thank you, Pris. Thank
John,
you, everybody. It was wonderful talking to you.
The reason
Amanda, we gotta hook up sometime. John, we gotta hook up, bro, sometime. Okay.
Okay, so let me clarify because John is making faces. The reason why I'm like that because in real life I've had stalkers before, and I'm talking like real life stalkers. So I'm like kind of leery with certain things. I kind of move different and walk all stiff and stuff certain times, and then sometimes I skip. That's just me.
Yeah.
And I'm making a joke about it, but that's why I don't say, okay, I'm definitely going to go to this game or whatever. It doesn't have anything to do with anyone. I don't have an issue with anyone. It's just what I've dealt with in my personal life to where I'm just a little bit careful like that. So I do have my Instagram and stuff like that listed on the post. You can find me there. I'm in the group. I'm on Facebook. You can follow me. And that's just what it is. But I pretty much love everyone. I don't have a problem with you. Unless you have a problem with me, then you really got a problem because I don't have a problem with anyone, because I get along with everyone. I do wish all of your teams well, except when you're playing us, especially John. I mean, Steve, I'm sorry. You're going to take the L. We're going to have a head coach, and I want to see you take the L. I definitely want to see you wearing the Bears gear. If I have Steve wearing Bears gear, that's gonna make my year. It really seriously.
Okay, now, all right. If that happens, John, I know you're gonna be on here. I know Amanda, I know you're gonna be on here. And Pris, you're not. You're gonna give me shit for a whole year. And Brandie, maybe you will, but yes, I took a bet and I will do it. If you put me back on after that, I will wear it. Okay.
Well, you'll be back on. So what I'm also going to do is because we have a couple of little different predictions. I'm trying to get everyone, just so you guys know and the listeners, I'm trying to now do a recap and introducing members back again. We're going to go through divisions and we're going to do, of course, the horror stories like I usually do. So you're always welcome to come back on. I usually will shoot a message asking if you could be on this day. If not, then you'll come on next time. So I'll wait until we could do all of us again to recap this conversation. But I do want to have everyone be on when they can be on. So I'm definitely doing that. But as far as the running bets, as we like to call them, the running discussions, I'm going to do a post and we're just going to on the group and we're just going to add to everything that, that's out there. And the top of the list is probably going to be the Steve. It's probably going to be the Steve. So we're going to have it there. So thank you guys. Thank you guys again. Thank you for listening. And thank you guys again for being on the show. Like I said, you guys are some of my favorites. So I appreciate you being on. I definitely welcome you back to be on another show. Definitely do this all together. And Brandon, Amanda, you know, I do the her stories. So I definitely invite you to do that as well and have some fun shows coming up for this season. So anytime you could be on, if we can make it work, I definitely invite you to be back on.
I love it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Totally in.
Thanks. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Love you. I mean, seriously.
Thank you, everyone. Skol Vikes.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Well, hey, I love you guys. I mean, seriously, outside, I mean, but when it comes down to football, game off, okay?
All right now.
But Steve, you guys are gonna lose a lot of games this season, so you're just gonna be mad all season.
Oh, jeez, here we go.
You're gonna be mad. You lucky I don't place bets like that because you'd be wearing a Raiders jersey, you'd be wearing a Bears, you'd be wearing
every team but his own.
Okay, I want you guys, the rest of you guys, step up. If the Packers win, you got to wear some Packer stuff. Come on.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Not gonna do it, Claire. Sorry.
I'm lactose intolerant, Steve. No cheese here.
And I'm not gonna have to scrub my skin with ammonia just to feel good.
All right, I'll have to think of something else. I'll think of something else. All right.
Thank you guys for joining
All
us.
right,
It's been a lot of
everyone.
fun.
Darn, later,
I
buddy.
appreciate
Hey.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good
Hey.
night.
Okay,
Thanks, y'all.
thank you.
Bye. Have a great one. Thanks,
Have a good
Chris.
season. Have a good season, guys.
Take
Oh,
care.
we will.
Bye.
Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.